Hello, we are back with Ingés Profesional 2. My name is Marco Meza, as you know, and we are going to explain and use some comparatives and superlatives. Remember, replay all the presentation again and again until you understand what's going on. Okay, comparatives will link two objects, the small car with the large one. So we use bigger, in this case, to relate the blue with the white. The blue is bigger than the white one. The white is smaller than the blue one. There are some rules we can explain. For example, for one-syllable adjectives, we just use ER at the end of the adjective. Small, smaller, hard, harder, tall, taller. For example, the ant is shorter than the hippo. The hippo is larger than the ant. As you can see, it is a very glad hippo. A second rule is related to the comparison of some adjectives that end in a consonant and a vowel and another consonant. We double the last consonant and add ER. For example, big. It ends in G, I, and D in a backspace order. Okay? It goes with the definition above, and we double the G and add ER. Bigger than. The same as fat, fatter than. The same as thin, thinner than. Okay? For example, the elephant is fatter than the giraffe, or the giraffe is thinner than the elephant. We have another rule. When it ends in Y, we normally drop the Y and add IER. Happy, happier. Funny, funnier. The toddler is happier than the baby. The rule 4, the coming rule, is for words or adjectives that will have more than 2 syllables. Okay, if they don't have a Y at the end, we will use more before and then after the word. More beautiful than, more expensive than. But if the adjective has a Y, okay, we will also add more and than as we did previously. Easy, easier than, we know this. Satisfactory, more satisfactory than. In the first case, easy is just 2 syllables and we add ER after dropping Y and added I. For example, the butterfly is more beautiful than the frog, obviously. Okay, we have another word that is for irregular adjectives. Good becomes better, bad becomes worse, far becomes farther. Okay, and we will always use than. Okay? Europe is and Australia. Which is farther? Australia is farther than Europe. Okay? And please remember, a comparative needs than after the comparison. Switzerland is smaller than Russia. A killer whale is bigger than a dolphin. A hummingbird is smaller than a thumb. The hippo is fatter than the zebra. The dog is happier than the monkey. The butterfly is more beautiful than the frog. Okay? Superlatives. We need to compare more than 2. We need to use superlatives. And we won't say one is better than the second, than the third, than the fourth. No, we use a superlative. That is the best of all this group, of this set of things, okay, of two or objects, okay. For example, we have a white, the blue, and the truck. We say the truck is the biggest. Okay, we also have 5 rules, quite similar to the ones we have previously studied. Okay, one syllable, we add est by the end of the word, and before the word we put da. The cat is the smallest. Chinese is probably the hardest language to learn. The second rule is also when the adjective ends in a consonant, a vowel, and another consonant. You remember big? It became bigger. Now, in this case, big becomes biggest. The biggest. Fat, the fattest. The bear is the fattest among the 3 animals. The third rule is the same with a Y. We remove the Y and add IEST. Happy, the happiest. Funny, the funniest. The lion is the heaviest. Okay? And the fourth rule, for more than 2 syllable adjectives, we add the most before the adjective. The most beautiful, the most expensive. And also, if the adjective ends in Y, we add the most in adjectives that have more than 2 syllables, and what we have studied for those who have less than 2 words. For example, the airplane is the most expensive. And we have a 5th rule that is also for a regular. Do you remember? The best team. The worst earthquake ever. And the farthest land in the world. So far of everything. A small island. Okay, do you remember good was worse? Now good becomes the best. Bad was, sorry? Okay, now becomes okay. And far becomes the farthest. When using a superlative, we need to use the word da. For example, the Vatican is the smallest country in the world. The smallest. That's the superlative portion of the sentence. The blue whale is the biggest animal ever also. Okay, the biggest. The superlative. The hummingbird is the smallest bird. The smallest is the superlative portion of this sentence. Okay, for a superlative we need to use always we need to use the. The Vatican is the smallest, the blue whale is the biggest, the hummingbird is the smallest. Please remember, for superlatives we need to use the. And do you remember? For comparatives we use than, but by the end. Okay, let's check if you have understood all this. Yes, smaller. Small becomes smaller. Okay. You need to use young. You need to use old. Okay? Please write sentences using these 3 words. For example, Carol is thinner than Maria. We have these exercises, 3 more. Please go through them slowly, to your own pace, and replay them as much as you need. Okay? Chemistry is more difficult. Do you remember? More than 2 syllables for comparison. Okay? Now we have irregular, far, good, bad, far, farda in this case. We also have different forms of comparison, mixing comparison and superlatives. Argentina is bigger, more big? No, that's wrong. That's a mistake. It's bigger than England. Please correct it. It's bigger than England. Okay, we have more examples, 12 and 13. Another example, using as and as. As and as will mean the same level, the same quality, the same level of quality for 2 things. In this case, it's a negative sentence that means the equality in stupidity is not the same. Okay, do the same, please, for the following examples. Okay? So this is the answer key, and we have reached the end of this presentation. It was nice to get in touch with you again. Thank you in Spanish. Thank you.